Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky. Good morning. I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky. It is the 27th of December.
Crazy, right?
The year is almost over.
4 days left. 2024. What's in store for 2024?
Did you just make that up?
I did.
Okay, I'm just going to be real with you. So many times when we make a to-do list or when we look back at the year, it is so easy to focus on
What didn't get done.
what didn't get done.
Yeah, how many times have you gotten to the end of a year and been like, oh my gosh, did I accomplish anything this year?
Or, yeah.
And
Yes.
and then you start thinking, I feel like a failure because you know you've got these big dreams and goals, and then they're still so far off in the distance. So when you dream, when you have those audacious dreams and goals, it takes a while to get there. And I've heard you say before, we often underestimate what we can do in 5 years and overestimate what we can do in a year.
We overestimate what we can do in 10 minutes. We overestimate what we can do in a day. We overestimate what we can get done in an hour. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this, this, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah, let me make this to-do list, and it looks more like a wish list.
Yeah, my to-do list for a day is sometimes 3 note cards.
Yeah. And
I think there's no possible way that any superwoman could do everything on this list. And then I feel bad about myself that I didn't get everything done.
we set ourselves up for that failure.
There's no possible way that any human could do a third of what's on this list.
All the things that are, because the to-do list never ends, especially if you're chasing your dreams with gusto and you're just trying to make progress in life.
And it's the same way with the end of the year. You know, I had a moment a few days ago where I literally said, I didn't accomplish anything this year. Well, that's simply not true. It's simply, it's a false lie. It's a blatant lie, to be honest with you.
We're the easiest people it's easiest to fool ourselves.
But in that moment,
yes,
it felt so real to me.
Yeah.
It felt so real.
And how often just getting to the end of a day are we exhausted and then we feel like we didn't accomplish anything. But we did so much.
Okay, so let's talk about how we combat this end of the year feeling. How do we combat this? Because it's so easy to fall into this trap. What we are describing right now is a trap. Do not fall into it.
That's right. The only way to up-level yourself is to recognize the traps that are holding you back.
So awareness is the first key. If you are aware, like, oh my gosh, they're talking about me. I have fallen into this. I have fallen into, oh my gosh, I didn't get it all done this year. I was supposed to do this, this, and this by the end of the year.
I'm not a success.
I didn't get it done. I didn't get it done. Oh my gosh, I'm a failure.
Boo.
Ricky. I always go into my Lucille Ball voice, Ricky, because she always blames it on her husband, Ricky. It's always his fault.
So one simple tool that I find very effective for this is every day, take just 3 minutes at the end of the day and write in a journal, what was my biggest success for today? Or what was my biggest win for today? And at the end of the year, so if you take 3 minutes to do that, at the end of the year, you've invested 18 hours and 15 minutes of your year.
Which is a lot of time. I'm going to be real.
Yeah, that's half a week. Right?
18 hours
3 minutes
is a lot
day.
of time.
But a lot of times we spend that time doing nothing and lamenting over what didn't get done. But if we can focus on something that we were successful at the end of the year, we can go back and we can review this article or this journal that has 365 days of winning. And that changes the whole perception and perspective at the end of the year.
That makes a resume.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden we have a win list.
And you are moving into the next year with just full force power of realizing the real truth which is you are successful, you are a winner, and every day you have accomplishments and progress. Instead of
And by golly, I like myself.
that's right. Instead of the 2 or 3 things that you beat yourself up over about not getting done.
It's so true. I mean, what we say it over and over, but what we focus on is really, I mean, where energy goes is where your life is going to flow.
Yes, and where you grow.
And where you're going to grow. And so if we focus on what went well in our lives, where we've been successful, if we focus on those daily wins,
you get to show up differently and as a winner and as that person that's living lucky. So we talk about all the time, what's it feel like to live lucky? If you just went through 365 wins, picked out your top 10, top 15, and put those in the front 2 pages of next year's journal, every time you start feeling that, oh, I'm not a success, oh, I need to move into a new interview or a new presentation or whatever you want, the next big thing that you're moving towards.
you can say, wait a minute, I have proof.
I have history
right here.
and success and evidence of where I'm a winner.
Journaling has changed my life. I journal every single day. And on the days that I miss, it is evident of I need to get into my art room and I need to start gratituding. It's a verb for me. Gratituding is a verb.
It's an amazing tool, and we don't spend, a lot of times we don't do what we know. So we know that it's helpful. We know that it's beneficial. We know that it has all these benefits at the end, but we don't take the time to just 3 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day.
And even if you're not gratituding, even if you are mind dumping, even if you are just getting it out, that is so helpful. Even if you wake up and you just have diarrhea of your thoughts, just getting them out of your mind is so helpful because you are releasing them
Yes.
and not ruminating on them.
It gets it out of the echo chamber of your head and your skull onto paper. Then you can actually start visualizing, okay, is this something that's true? Is it false?
Is this
it always
serving
true?
me?
Is it serving me? Yes.
And when you said echo chamber, that is so true because when they are in your head, they are literally ricocheting inside your head and bouncing off the walls.
Feeding themselves, growing into these little monsters.
And
that
they're
beat you
creating
down.
these little neural pathways where the grooves just get deeper and deeper to where we believe them even stronger and
then we
more
start,
in depth.
and that becomes our new truth. And what this is doing is it's reprogramming those neural pathways, reprogramming the real truth, where we're not beating ourselves up and where we recognize our successes and recognizing our progress.
So right now, in the past year, remember your successes. Remember your successes. And that goes back to, several podcasts ago, we did a topic about Christmas cards. And the one reason why I continue to do a Christmas card, even though I don't send them out to anyone, I continue to do one just for us, and I put it in a little scrapbook, is because it is a way to document our life.
Yeah.
And it is a way to remember that one big win, and that's just one win. That's just one win. Yeah. But I have 21 years now of that one win every year, and I can look back and go, oh yeah, that's that one win of the year.
Instead of looking back in 5 years or 10 years going, what have I done with myself? What have I created? Have I made any progress? Because the worst feeling is feeling like you've made zero progress.
Or to feel like the rest of the world is passing you by. Yeah. Like you're staying the same and the rest of the world is passing you by, because then you feel like, well, I am getting left behind because everyone else is changing and I'm not. Yeah. I'm stuck.
And when you can realize that, hey, I am making progress, I am winning, then you fit in with the flow of the universe.
That it's funny you're bringing that up, because this morning in my meditation, it was all about, where do I fit in the flow of the universe? Yeah. Where do I fit in? Maybe where I fit in is designing journals, gratitude journals. I can tell you right now, for everyone in the world.
I've seen one of your journals and it is amazing.
Stay tuned on that one, folks. All right. Gratituding. It will change your life. It's changed mine. And whether or not you are writing down what you're grateful for, remember to just write down a win. Write down something that you feel proud of, that you feel you have been successful at today. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate something about you. Celebrate something that you love about yourself. We are celebrating the abundant, the joyful,
the love, the
prosperity, all of those feel good, fuzzy emotions about ourselves. About ourselves. We are celebrating ourselves.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, if we can do that every single day, and Jason suggests 3 minutes, I suggest just one. Yeah. Just one thing. Celebrate yourself.
Whatever it takes to get you into that habit and that identity of changing your story and creating the real truth.
Oh, I love it. Then we will all be living lucky.
Amen.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.